Hey, all you crazy winter gardeners. While the rest of America's under a blanket of snow or cold, all your deciduous vines and fruit trees are dormant. Well, this is Phoenix. It's 70 degrees. Whew, I don't need a jacket. I need my stinking t-shirt and shorts. Much better. Yeah, my grapevines are ready to be pruned in dormancy. So are the rose bushes, the figs. Had a few days below freezing right at the very beginning of this year. First and second, it was 29 degrees, so I had covered my papaya and a couple other things to keep it from freezing, and they did well. But they're south facing off this block wall with full sun all day long, so they get warmed up really nicely. So in 70 degrees, they're actually thinking it's like 80 on that block wall, so they're doing fine. We're gonna go around the yard and show you what's going on. Just got back from a short vacation. Now it's time to work in the garden. We got our wheat coming up nicely for a early summer harvest. Got broccoli. It's getting some broccoli heads. You know, I densely populate the seeds here because I thin them out and feed them to the chickens and ducks. We got some beets radishes ready to be harvested. These are a Chinese red flesh. So yeah, they're green and white on the outside, but you cut them open and they're red. Just the opposite of the radishes we're used to. Very cool. So I'm gonna have those to eat, feed the greens to the chickens. Frost set back all the Okinawa purple sweet potatoes. So it's time to pull these back and see our potatoes. Look at that. Purple sweet potatoes to harvest. There's some there, and there's two other spots we'll find some more. And I already took out about 4 out of here, the largest ones. We ate those. They were delicious. So we're just gonna store them right here under there. They can keep growing. We'll harvest them as we need them. This is my dragon fruit trellis that I built. So once it starts getting hot, they'll start growing, and they'll be shaded in the summertime by the tree as a microclimate. I've been doing some propagating. I've been using this kiddie pool. Got a couple of them, one for the ducks and one for propagating, because Walmart had them on sale a couple months ago for like $3. So now I just put these in here. These are my cuttings from my Asian white that I just trimmed. I'm trying to create some cuttings for sweet almond bush. I got a friend who wants those. And some figs, my honey fig that I cut. But we got romaine lettuce doing nicely. Some dinosaur kale. Mint springing up. We got our rosemary. We got some sugar snap peas. And some snow peas. These are the ones we gotta take the peas out of, but these are sweet. They're beautiful, tasty. Over here on the north side, my longevity spinach, which does well year-round, still giving us salads. We got a couple avocado trees that popped up over the summertime. Looks like I'm gonna need some iron. I'm gonna have to feed it some iron. Mango, It's already starting to flower. It's always flowered. This thing is 7 feet tall now. It's doing really nicely on this north side. All these flower buds already. It's only middle of January. Look at this. I planted this early fall and it's still giving me tomatoes. The other one wasn't getting full sun, so it froze back. But this one, as soon as the sun hits it, it warms right up, and so it survived 29-degree nights twice and a couple of 32-degree nights. But now it's flowering and fruiting, and it's giving me stinking tomatoes. These cherry tomatoes. Papaya didn't freeze back, and you can see papayas growing up in it. This is my project this week. Mulberry, cut it back to about 8 feet. Trim up the apricots. Trim these pear trees because pears are vertical. I can plant them. I got 2 of them side by side, about 2 feet apart. But because they grow vertical, you know, I can plant them close together. But I can trim them back, cut them back to about 8 feet, and they'll branch out and become a little bit wider at the top. Provide some shade for my bedroom. But they're right next to the chili beans. We got some curly kale doing well. In between his cabbages, they're starting to form their heads. I got another avocado tree that popped up in my raised bed. I have some other seeds planted. They're starting to pop up. There's some beets and some more peas. We got radishes, and I think there's some beets in here coming up. This is my plantain, a medicinal plant. Here's my project today. Get the chipper out. Start wood chipping. Cut back my Asian white and my baby everbearing. The mom's back there, and they're already starting to put on the fruit, budding out because it's 70 degrees all week. Here's the tomato plant that froze back. It was in my raised bed, but it's got radishes in there, and there's some dill coming up and some peas popping up. I got my onions in there, and I think chamomile. I had a couple of the baby chickens who flew the coop and got in here and dug out a lot of the seedlings, but I'll get plenty. Celery's doing beautiful. It's almost getting ready. Cauliflower. Snail vine I'm starting to trim back. You got froze up on top. Some frost damage, but I'm going to cut this back so I can restart for the spring. Get rid of all the dead growth. Tropicals are doing nicely. Ice cream bean. The avocado's back here. Yeah, the avocado. Gotta trim that back a little bit. Starfruit back there is doing amazing. See this tree back there? Starfruit. Hopefully we'll get some fruit set this next year. My other avocado. And in the front yard, we got our dormant jujube and my newly planted peach last year. That's dormant. Florida Prince peach. I just trimmed that up to open up the center and get rid of all the dead growth. Pluot, haven't got any fruit on it yet, so hopefully we'll get some this year. Flowers are doing amazing. Look at the lavender reseeding itself. Got all kinds of flowers. Sweet alyssum. I gotta cut back all my canna, let it restart. Maybe I can pot some up and propagate those and sell them. Just cut back my palm tree yesterday. get it off the ground and off the roof. Banana was protected from the freeze against that block wall under the moringa. It protected it. I had to cut back all the moringa right there because my apple trees weren't going into dormancy, so I had to get them some open air to get some chill. Got a little bit of freeze on the passion fruit. I gotta strip those vines back. I want to get rid of all the yellow vines, yellow passion fruit vines right there, because I got a purple variety started right, so I want that one to take off in this area. Well, all my Bok Choy here, middle of winter, it bolted. I didn't get it too long, but what I've learned, and people can try, especially here in the warmer climates of the south. Look at all the bees. Somebody was saying that they had a problem with their Bok Choy that bolted in the wintertime in cold weather, and they just saved the seeds and they kept replanting them, and the DNA in the plants kept acclimating, and so after the third year it no longer was bolting in the warm weather of the south of the winter. And so I'm just going to start saving my seeds and then plant them out the next couple years and see if we can get a more acclimated variety of Bok Choy for my yard. You can see there's some zinnias growing in here, and there's also carrots down there growing. Some leaf lettuce. But it adds some color right now, so I'm not using the Bok Choy for my salads, but I am getting a new variety for my yard. Might take a couple years, but the DNA in the plant will change. I still got some pruning to do for my apple trees, and this early amber peach, Santa Rosa plum's got to be trimmed. My Valencia oranges are starting to turn. Look at the size of these fruit. Nice size oranges. Can't wait to try them. I figured it'd be February before I was able to harvest them, then I'll just pick them as I eat them. Jamaican Cherry, acclimated, no freeze back at all. I had a couple of floodlights under here on those cold nights that was below freezing, but this thing is still producing cherries. Look at that Jamaican Cherry, sweet. My snack for the garden. Pecan Trees in dormancy. But it's been so warm that all my bulbs started rising already. Instead of waiting for spring, they're already popping up. I even saw one back here that was flowering. I was trimming my palm trees and noticed it was flowering already. One of the bulbs popped up there. I have some. There's another one. No, it's not popping up yet. I have some daffodils planted here. My iris. Planted those a year ago. Hopefully I'll get some flowers this spring. Over here under my sisal tree, Barbados cherries are doing nicely. Russian red, dormant. Last year I buried some rotten avocados, and now I got some trees here, so I thought it'd be nice to put one of my banana pups over here. And it did fine with the cold underneath the sisal with no frost, and I had a bucket right there it's full of water, so that the water would have, the water would have froze before the trunk of the banana, so the banana survived nicely. Even if it did freeze back a little bit, I would just cut it off and it would shoot right back up. Mangoes are doing nicely. I'm gonna cut back these branches right here though. I got probably about 15 feet of branches to cut out, and it'll open up all the morning sunlight in here for the surrounding cherries and mango, banana, guava galore right now with all this new growth. This is the Ruby Red Supreme. It was, starting to get some guavas right there. It's got a few on here right now. But the white, the Asian white, has got tons of guavas. There's probably about 50 fruit on this one. I'm going to take out this wonderful pomegranate. I'm going to get it off the street, open up this area a little bit, just have guavas and then something small in between. But I haven't had too much luck with the fruit right off the street, so I'm going to put it in the backyard now that it's dormant. I'll cut it up and dig it out, transplant it out by the pond. It should do a lot better back there. Well, that's what's going on. Working in the garden in the middle of July. January. Just feels like it's summer for you northerners. That's what's going on here. Have a good day.